Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to make a video for the Bushcraft channel, and essentially, there's this show alone, and I kind of wanted to make my list of 10 items from a pre-approved list um, from the show alone and what I would pick. So, getting into this, I don't know if this is 100% right because it's ChatGPT, but essentially, my strategy going into alone would be metal, greater than everything, because like everything else is lower tech than metal is. Granted, there is technically a chance that if you did land and you did know about geology and were able to find minerals and get correct ores, because like out in my mom's land, I found hematite and magnetite right on the surface. I don't know how much to make out of like to refine it into anything usable, but I did find multiple stones of high iron content hematite. But so like the beginning of my logic is that metal, considering it is the hardest thing to produce technologically in a grid down situation, would be the highest order of priority. So something like large pot, steel frying pan, and it's essentially you want okay, obviously fire too. We want fire, so fire is number one. So we're going ferro, ferro rod, standard size striker. Whoops, didn't mean to send that. Oh, cool. Whoops. Right. Let's just resend that in. Sorry. This is kind of just like a random off the cuff video. I didn't plan this at all. So we're just breaking everything down here. I'm just going to see if this is going to be in my list just to isolate the list. Like there's other things like, you know, these are things that I would not definitely, I would train if I'm going to try to go on alone to not need the 2 pounds of beef jerky, 2 pounds of dried lentils, hardtack military biscuits, etc. What I would want to bring is stuff with micronutrients because like we're so fat as Americans that like I'm kind of on the lighter side of overweight fat. You know what I mean? I got like maybe I could probably lose 7 pounds and still be considered healthy. So I got a little bit of fat on me. But one of the things I've realized from deprivation is that like one of the first things to go is your brain because of the electrolytes. So if there's some sort of like food we can bring that would have like a massive amount of electrolytes for us to make good decisions, I would want to bring that. Not necessarily calories because that's a slot. That could be a piece of metal if that makes sense. Um, Sharpening stone would be all right. Duct tape, just because duct tape's versatility, how many times you can effectively like improvise things with it, make tools out of it, etc. Ads is going to be high up on my list. Two-hand knife would be up there too. So like ferro odd obviously is number one. So number one would be ferro. I would take that. I have a couple more minutes to make my choices now. A folding saw would be also high on the list just because saws and hatchet. I'm kind of on the fence whether I would be a hatchet or a medium-sized axe because I feel like what a hatchet would get done, a folding saw would get done instead. Um, so we got barrel, axe. I'll just say axe, medium size. I don't want a splitter. I want like a medium size, like in between, just in case. Folding saw. Like I think trench shovel might be on here too. Hmm. Yeah, folding shovel. Because these are tools that like replicate your extremities, but don't they prevent injury because you don't have to use your hands to break wood. You don't have to use your hands to cut wood down. You don't have to use your hands to make a fire with like a hand drill and a bow drill or whatever. Even though like that would be part of my strategy, but this is just the list. Sorry, I just gotta get this done in a minute now. So then I would be taking like carabiners. Sounds pretty good too. There was other metal stuff. Uh, a grate or a grill too. Yeah, that might be. That's a maybe. That's not high on the list. The Scotch eye dogger ads. It's not on there. I would get an ads. Metal pot. Eight would be survival knife. Is that on there too? survival knife, multi-tool if I was able to take both of them. And sharpening stone. That would be my first take. I would have to really, really meditate on it, but this would be my first take, like all metal. I think they give us like certain like clothes and stuff like that. Like you're allowed to have your clothes and things like that. But I wouldn't really care too much about a tarp. Wouldn't care about like rope would actually be really, really good because it'd save you a lot of labor. But technically, rope and cordage is easy to produce from the environment. All these things, these would be technology that is really hard to in the time frame that is allotted to you in the Alone series. I feel like all of the metal, taking as much metal as possible, would be the best way to go about it because then you could build a world. So there's my Bushcraft video about what I would take on this show alone. Thank you. Have a nice day. Please subscribe.